Hi guys, in this video we're going to be looking at how to find the lowest common multiple using the same technique we've been shown for the highest common factor. Okay, so we know what multiples are. Now we're just going to learn the technique to find the lowest common multiple, and it's really easy. So first let's just talk about what is the lowest common multiple. Well, the lowest common multiple, or LCM, of two or more numbers is the smallest multiple of all the numbers. Okay, so it's the smallest number that when each number is multiplied, that's the smallest number we can get with each of the numbers. So let's look at the lowest common multiple of 5 and 3 using our little technique. So the first thing we're going to do, like when we find our HCF, we're going to list all our multiples first. So multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I've listed 6 there, and multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. So again, I've listed 6. And the common multiple here is 15. It's the lowest number that occurs in both. So our LCM is 15. But let's look at a different technique for doing this. So the first thing we'll do is write our two numbers, so 12 and 18, like we do with our HCF. Then we're going to look for a number that goes into both 12 and 18. So I'm going to pick the number 3. You might have chosen 2, and that's fine as well. So 3 goes into 12 4 times, and it goes into 8 6 times. Now if you look here, if we look at 4 and 6, we go, well, are there any other factors of 4 and 6? Well, yes. 2 goes into both 4 and 6, so we put that on the side. And 2 goes into 4 twice, and into 6 3 times. Now 2 and 3 are both prime numbers, so we can't find any more common factors other than 1. So we leave that as it is. Now, in the previous one, we've talked about HCF, and that this section here, when they're multiplied together, gives us our HCF. So 3 times 2 is 6. And then now what we're going to talk about is, well, if we have these numbers all together, if we multiply them all together, the whole L for LCM, we get 36. 3 times 2 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 times 3 is 36. And this gives us our lowest common multiple. So when we multiply all of the numbers in our L shape, we get our lowest common multiple. Now, it's important to know that you have to have all prime numbers there. Not prime numbers, sorry. All numbers that are in the lowest common factor. Have no more factors. I'll get there eventually. So have no more factors. So 2 and 3 have no more common factors, so that's as far as we can go with this. Let's look at another example. So 36 and 9, so what goes into both of these easily? Well, I went for the 3. So 3 goes into 36 12 times, and into 9 3 times. And then we go, 3 goes into both again, so 3 goes into 12 4 times, and into 3 once. So our highest common factor is 9, our 3 times 3. And our lowest common factor is 3 times 3 times 4 times 1. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 times 4 is 36. So that is our lowest common multiple. Okay, let's do a bigger one, 188 and 64. So 188 and 64, well, you might struggle to find something here, but I went straight for the 2. They're both even numbers, so 2 goes into both of these. Okay? So 2 goes into 188 94 times, and into 64 32 times. Again, 2 goes into both of these, and it goes in 47 times and 16 times. Now 47 is a prime number, so we leave it there because we can't find another common factor of 42 and 16. So here, our highest common factor of 188 and 64 is 4, because 2 times 2. And this one's a bit more challenging, and I had to use a calculator, so hopefully if you get a question like this, you do get given a calculator. But 2 times 2 times 47 times 16 gives us the lowest common multiple of 3008. Okay, one more. Again, I want you to try and do this one on your own this time, so just following the same technique and seeing what you can get from it. Okay, so you might have picked different factors. That's okay as long as you end up with the same highest common factor and the same lowest common multiple. So for 450 and 300, I went for 50. And 50 goes into 459 times and into 306 times. Again, I've gone, okay, 3 goes into both of these. So 3 goes into 9 3 times and into 6 twice. These are prime numbers, so we can't take that any further. Our highest common factor for 450 and 300 is 150. And our lowest common multiple is 50 times 3 times 3 times 2, which gives us the lowest common multiple of 900. Hopefully that makes sense, guys, but try and use this technique as much as possible. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask. Thanks.